sound now. There's some sound.
Yay,
Not much sound. Let's turn up the
sound.
gain on that. Oh, that was interesting.
That was.
We got
really...
feedback on that.
Yep.
All right, how's the sound, everyone? Do we have sound? Can you hear us? Are we just talking into the wind? No sound. Here we go. No sound. We can't hear you.
Dr. Falcon says silent movies. You can work on your sign language.
Haha. All
Okay.
right.
Audio is good. Yay! Thank you, Didiz and Wahawk. Note, frustrated bear face.
Hey.
Hey,
All right.
for those of you that have used to watch Bear's Den in the morning, I think there's one where I went like 25 minutes
Oh, yeah.
and didn't have any audio. Y'all are lovely people, and you just let me ramble on with no sound.
All right, let me pop this out. Sorry, I'm getting the chat set up here so we can follow along.
This is the first time we've ever done this, so.
First time. We're all new to this. All right, you're on live chat right there. I'm on my chat window right here. Let's say howdy to everyone. Neil F. is in the house. Futon02, of course, is there. How you doing? Fred Hill is here. Di is in the house. Mark Olson. Bruce Algree. Oh. The Michael Chesney is in the house. Mater, hey Mater, how's it going? Let's see who's Alan's there. Damien, Dwayne. Let's see here. Any other regulars? Barbecue 76 is in the house.
Woo-hoo!
Dr. Falcon is here. Crystalline Sky's around. How's she going? Let's see here. Volume low. Lacking. Okay. Hopefully we're caught up. Yes, we now have sound. Infernal Craftsman says, I can see the blind man to the deaf son. Neil says, loved your post on Facebook group about blocking and sending money.
Yep.
You know, I got somebody today who's like, I got blocked for no reason. And, when I checked with the other admins, they're like, he's been on here for like a year and he's constantly having to put him on mute or put him in timeout because he's constantly posting stuff he's not supposed to. Guy just doesn't. He's like, I never break the rules. Clearly, he's never read any of the rules. But anyway, Infernal Craftsman says the fine half was reading your lips when you had the sound off that time. Better than Braille controls on an aircraft. Oh my gosh. And Mohawk says I'm on Diet Mountain Dew. LOL.
I did see that, and you went so fast, I didn't even see the name. But somebody is joining us for the first time for their live stream.
Ooh.
And you didn't do at the Den of Tools, probably because you're new. So just a reminder, we don't have it at the top like we normally do. But if you do at the Den of Tools, we will make sure that we read your comment. Sometimes we get super, super behind, so we have not ignored you. We just sometimes get behind. And I just wanted to... I think it was Alex. Alex says, this is my first time catching you live. So,
hey.
For everybody who's new or forgot, I know that I have forgotten when I get excited when I have a friend or something that's live streaming. Do at the Den of Tools, and we'll make sure to read it.
Yeah. Grimute says, need some Starlink for good internet where you are now. I was thinking about going with Starlink. I was real close to pulling the trigger on it, but we decided to go with just Verizon phones and using their internet. And so far, it's worked out pretty good. That's what I'm on right now. Just streaming off the hotspot off my phone. Hold on. Just a minute. We got to... What's up?
Oh, nothing.
Oh. Duncan and his friend here have been out riding bikes today. Duncan, you going to show everyone your wound?
No.
He biffed it pretty hard coming down some mountain trails. Went over the handlebars on a mountain desert trail, and I don't know. He's got about a full forearm of road rash. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I guess trail rash, as I said before.
So I made pasta up there for you guys. There's 2 bowls. There's 2 different kinds of pasta.
Put the mask back up. Put the mask back up. There you go. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Dunk.
Of course, he's drinking out of the carton.
It's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you put it too far back in the fridge, the
It's
stuff
in the
will
door.
freeze. Oh, it's in the door?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So, Di, thank you. She said, welcome to Alex, who is our new viewer this evening.
Here, hold on. We'll get back to you. I guess that's so. Dunk. Did you guys get any good footage of the CAC?
No.
Oh, you can't write it.
No, we didn't.
You guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of trails. Crazy.
Well, it's missing one of the nuts on the front.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's not do that, shall we?
Well, I guess as long as you don't pop up that wheel, it'll be fine. Anyway, all right, back to the stream. Mater says, thanks for all the views on the Ghost live stream. By the way, I have reached out to Harbor Freight trying to get some specs from them. Any kind of thing that we can get out of them would be great. Wilhawk says, hold on, what's lost?
It's not really lost, it's just a CAC charger. The e-bike charger.
It wasn't on the back in the kitchen back there?
It's
Did we take it with us?
We never checked the kitchen.
Did you guys use it? Sorry for being here for our everyday life. One moment. Was it the one that you used this morning?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then we'll have to figure it out
Okay.
at some point.
Family. Fortunately, can't put them on pause. I keep trying. And let's see here. Wilhawk says, 1 week from tomorrow, I go under the knife. And we'll be praying for you, brother. We will.
Yep.
Waha.
Our sound is breaking up.
That is a new...
Is anybody else
comment.
having that problem?
Somebody says frame dips. We're having Wi-Fi issues again.
We better not be, because that's the reason we got... It says we're not getting good speed.
Oh, do you have a charger?
Here,
1 moment,
here,
please.
hand me the phone. Maybe just having the phone over there is just not a good place for it. Usually I have it sitting right here.
Wow,
Here's your phone,
our video quality is not super great.
Okay. We're going to move the phone over here. See if that fixes our output.
Praying for your back surgery.
Chrome Dynamics says, hey, I think you should give more shout-outs about Carlisle tools, Castleman tools, Clutch tools, lots of deals and great tools in those brands. I do cover Clutch every so often. That's the house brand over at Northern Tools. Carlisle Tools. You know, they were doing some great sales for them. Maybe I've been missing all the sales. I haven't been seeing a lot of sales. They have great tools. I really like the quality of them. Their hand tool over at Napa, it's their house brand, their tool truck alternative, if you would.
So, a bunch of people are saying it's getting more consistent. Now the sound is breaking up. Now it's buffering. Somebody else is having sound issues.
All right, let me see if I can deal with the internet. What's going on here?
Sorry.
It says I've got full 5G.
I'm gonna grab the Gatorade and the Monster.
And
I'm typing the wrong word. Sorry about the bright light.
let me see here. And it says I got full internet access, so
Video is like watching a 1948 Dumont TV.
great. Great, this is what happens. It worked great last week, didn't it?
Yep. Somebody else says video and sound is perfect. Grimut says that Starlink's sounding better now.
It is. It is sounding better.
If you could just drop some off, it'd be great.
Yeah. Better quality now. Oh, now I've got green.
Huh.
Now I got green. Maybe Verizon figured itself out. All right,
Yeah,
let
so
me catch up
good.
here. As far as Castleman, we've talked about Castleman. They make some decent stuff. Levick says, hey, Jeff, next Sunday at Baguette Cafe, Gears and Grinds, Cars, Coffee, awesome. What part of town is that in?
Halen Wolf, sorry, I know this is jumping, said on Wednesday my truck broke its front bearings. Holy guacamole.
One of those is mine.
The green one is.
All right.
There
I can't lift that.
isn't a green one.
Oh, that's warm. All right. Had to grab that before they snarfed it.
Somebody else said, I think it's YouTube live streams have been bad all week. We were also having some connectivity issues that we can see on our end, but you might be correct about that.
Yeah. The RPVAC, I can never pronounce his name. Found my own unicorn this morning. 40-volt Hart brushless blower kit for $100. Brick thinks they didn't have any, but they had like 4. Rang it. Wow, that is an awesome deal. The battery alone with that is a $100 battery. I'm thinking I think it's a $50. Anyway, with the charger and everything.
Fred Hill says it's because of Moto.
It's because of it's Moto strikes
Moto,
again.
yes, is rising
Moto's
from
our
the
old
ashes.
phone. So we switched over to the new phone, so they're saying the old phone's striking back. Anyway, somebody asked, any thoughts on the upcoming Ryobi track saw for DIYers? I think it's going to be a no-brainer for DIYers. I think that track saw, the only other option you have is the Win, which isn't bad, but I've got thoughts that Ryobi's going to nail this one and just knock it out of the park. From everything from I've seen from it, it looks fantastic. Hawk says, last night I employed the 3D printer making tools. Tonight, Marvel coasters.
Cool.
That's awesome. Let's see here. What
Sorry, I
else
feel
we
like
got
I have a tree branch in my eyeball. I apologize for everyone who has to watch me dig it out.
The Mark says, why doesn't Harbor Freight carry some name brands? They do. But it's in like niche kind of stuff. Like you can find there's some degreasers they have, anti-rust stuff. They've got they've got Plastidip in there. You can buy spray cans of Plastidip. But everything else is vertically integrated. I mean, it's like going to Sears. Sears would have, back in the day, a lot of people, we talk about this, Craftsman never made anything. Craftsman was doing the same thing that Harbor Freight was doing, which is sourcing out stuff being made by somebody else for vertical integration sales.
I apologize about the dinging. I don't know how to make it stop.
Do you think...
Turn your silent button on.
Do you think Harbor Freight is putting a hurting on the big tool companies and tool trucks? I know that there is. I've got a friend who follows the markets. That's what her job is. Like, she sends out reports to like stock investors and stuff. And a lot of people have been hesitant to put money into like Snap-on and stuff because they know that between Harbor Freight and all the internet companies coming up, that they've been really digging into the big tool trucks. Remember, Harbor Freight's the 4th largest tool, hardware store in the United States. William says, just saw today that the Ryobi has come out, the pack-out set, and I'm pumped about it. The Link set, yeah, we talked about that a while back. It seems a bit pricey. I don't know, some people like it. It seems like one of those things that people love or hate. Personally, for me, I'd rather go with like a metal T-slot kind of thing instead. Not T-slot, but the pegboard kind of system. Wall command is the one I like. Michael Chesney says, I actually did something tool-related today. Visited the Northern Tool here in Norfolk, Virginia. They had some neat items. Also had an in-store repair section. That's cool. I haven't seen that.
Did you do a video?
Yeah, did you do a video for us? A store walkthrough, perhaps?
Yes.
I don't have Northern Tool near me, so it's hard for me to cover them and such. All right, let's jump along. Da-da-da-da. Just one moment, please. People commenting on the sound. Of course, it's gotten better. PT mentions that there are still no ossicones.
I know.
Do you?
I know.
But do you know?
I know. I'm in headgear jail. I apologize. We do not have headgear again this week. I will try
She
to do
usually
better.
wears something funny on her head.
Yeah. Usually it's like...
She forgot them all in Montana, and now...
I didn't forget them all. We were traveling
Now
late,
she's in
and
timeout.
so I expected to buy some, and I haven't, and I apologize.
I guess they don't sell them here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Jeffrey. Okay.
Is that a hedgehog in a box?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I miss my ossicones too, just as long as we're being honest.
Oh, Halo Wolf. On Wednesday, his truck broke its front bearing.
I read that earlier.
Did you? Ow.
He doesn't listen to me. You know what it is? He doesn't have a hearing problem. He has a specific I can't hear what my wife says problem. I know that you guys all suffer from the same thing.
What?
It's okay. Mm-hmm.
Matt says, seems to have fixed itself, works now. Alan says, I think it is YouTube live streams, and Woolhawk thinks it's interference from Area 51.
Halen Wolf says the bearings went out while on the
Oh!
highway going 65.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that was my next question. Are you okay? Are you messaging us from the hospital?
That's not a good place to be.
What happened?
His bearings went out on his truck doing 55 on the highway.
65.
65. Let's see here. Levick says the car show is Southwest on Sunset and Durango next Sunday, Dunk.
Got it.
All right. We're going to try to be there.
Still.
Well, we're still trying to decide. Did you make a decision? Hold on. Did you make a decision about Baja?
That's a
I
no.
kind of want to go.
Okay. Let's put it up to the
What if I ask
viewers.
for Baja 500 for my birthday?
That's
This would be an early birthday if we went to San Felipe.
No.
So, here's what the boy wants. He wants to go down and see one of the big off-road
Scores.
races in Mexico.
They're all
So,
in Mexico.
what?
They're all scores in Mexico.
Okay.
And the next week is the San Felipe 250. And we were trying to find a hotel room down there, and everything's sold out. And he's in the middle of school, so we would have to, like, basically we take him out for a second half of the day. He'd miss 2 classes at the end of school, the nothing classes, art and automotive shop.
Levick says we should bring the BMW.
Not nothing. We're not taking the BMW.
No, to the car show. Levick did.
Yes, we should bring the BMW. So anyway, the idea is tear out of here early on Friday, and it would just be the boys, and we drive down all the way to Mexico, to San Felipe, spend the night, get up the next day, do the race, Sunday hit the race in the morning, and then leave and drive back in time for live stream and getting the kids to school on Monday. Or we don't do the San Felipe, and instead we do the Baja 500, which is I'm suggesting that we do, because we got plenty of time to still book decent hotels. There was one guy got back to they're willing to rent their house, and but he's like, you have to rent it for 3 days. We're only going to be there for 2, so we're throwing money away, which I never like. And we would drive instead to Ensenada, do 2 days in Ensenada, and then drive over to San Felipe and watch the races from there for 2 days, and then back.
Vacation Getaways is in our stream.
Are they really?
Yeah. Travel warning.
yes, we read that.
Yeah, I read that this morning, and basically it said, stay on main roads and the highway, don't go in areas that aren't tourist areas, and don't go any place bad in Tijuana, which is, I don't know why they say that. That's just general common sense in Mexico. You don't.
Okay, people don't have common sense. We've discussed this 50 billion times.
Anyway, all right. Let me see what else. So anyway, let me know what you think. What?
It's Gears and Grinds. We've been to that one before.
Okay. Also, Fred says he's going to the F1 in Las Vegas. Oh, in 2023, we just saw that the F1 was coming back to Vegas. That's going to be awesome.
F1 in Vegas?
Yeah.
Where?
On the strip, as far as I understand.
Halen Wolf said the truck pulled hard to the left. I thought she was going to roll, but I was able to pull her back down on all 4 wheels and limp home. I am so glad you were okay.
Thank God for that.
Thank God.
Um,
All right.
What's this one? You or anyone you know with hands-on experience on the Ego line system looking to make the switch from gas to electric. It's really pretty. I don't own the Ego line. I have had a chance to use it. I have friends who have it. It is, I still say this, I think for the outdoor power equipment electrical solutions, if you're going cordless, it is the Cadillac of the lines. It's the nicest, best power, always just works kind of thing. We have the Hart 40 volt system. I love it. It's a great bang for the buck. But Ego's got a riding lawnmower, okay? We don't have a yard that we could use a riding lawnmower on, or I'd have it. But anybody else who wants to chime in, if you've got it, let them know what you think. Ego, the batteries, that's Chevron. That's one of their things they're strongest with, and we've been talking about it, like in the modding community, like one wheels, e-bikes, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people are adding extra power by converting them to run off of Ego batteries. Hard Harbor Freight used to carry Channel Lock. That was a long time ago. They carried a lot of name brands. Steven says, I think I've seen WD-40 at Harbor Freight. Yes, they do have WD-40.
There was something.
And reconnected successfully.
Interesting.
And it's back to green. All right, so let's continue.
So the last thing they heard was WD-40.
Yes, they do carry WD-40 and some other ones. Michael says, I neglected to take photos, not sure how to do a quick vid on the phone, change stores, helpful stuff, even smelled good. Wow, next time I go there, take some pics. Hey, this is a great one. If there's any stores you want highlighted that aren't in my area, I would be happy. If you want to do a video on your phone, here's what I recommend. Hold your phone sideways, all right? And you go through and keep a running talking dialogue. That way you talk over anybody else who may be giving out information or something to somebody. And what I do is I'll pan the aisle, and when there's no one in it, and then if there's someone standing right here in the aisle, and I need to go to the other side, you'll see my videos. I'll dip down and come back on the other side. It just kind of looks like I'm turning around like this. And people often are like, "Wow, there's nobody in that store." I'm like, "No, the store is full. I just pan around people." Right. So you don't catch them. So we're just trying to respect their privacy.
And also a reminder that you really are filming much faster than you think you are.
Yeah, move slow.
So try to move slow, which is something I suck at. Which is why I'm saying it.
And then, what else was I going to say? Anyway, let me get back to this. The questions here. Mark says, Toolnut says, Makita has an upcoming price increase. Any info on your sources? I've gotten notice from every major supplier at this point that they're...
Hang on 1 moment, please.
That's all right. We're losing connection, and we're back to green. Odd things there. I wonder if opening the door was causing that. Anyway, Hunter says it's selective hearing. No.
Yes, it is.
Old guy says, since you moved your phone, everything seems better, and yet we keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. Life on the road. Don't worry, folks, only 2 more months of this. And I thought we had such a good solution. Maybe if I lean the phone up.
Bye, Father.
Goodbye, son.
Move, dog.
It was nice knowing you.
I'm hitchhiking to San Felipe.
And Woolhuck is the first to point out that I am less scruffy this week. I did shave all the way around and cleaned up for spring, spring cleaning as it were. This phone thing is ticking me off. We paid a bunch of money for Verizon. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
Are we down again?
Yeah. Let's see here. Bring the BMW Gears and Grinds every first and third Sunday. Go to Baja and come another Sunday.
Sorry.
The Fred Hill says, I'm going F1. Yeah, we talked about the F1. Where am I on my comments? There we go.
Helmets, boys.
What's a helmet?
Woolhawk says, I have a flat tire and the air compressor decided to die today.
Oh no.
That's horrible. Steven says, time for a dedicated mobile hotspot. It may be. It may be, because this is bad buffering. I don't know. Do we continue, or just we just say it doesn't happen each night? Everyone's... Let me know. Continue or call it for the evening.
I mean, I don't know what to do.
It says I've got 4 bars. Now it says I have 2 bars. Can you be fair? You're
What?
going to hate it. Can you open that door? I know.
he's never seen from again, you know, it's because I had to open the door.
And the reason I'm asking you to open the door is we are in a metal box, and sometimes when you open the door, you get a few more of the pixie bits in. And let's see what happens there. Yada yada yada. I don't see it changing my signal at all. Here, will you hold this over there in the open door? Thank you, sweetie. You're the best. Oh, look, it went green. Immediately. Oh, nope, it's back to red. Hey, we got a $5 super chat. Neil F. for better internet. And the door just attacked Mama Bear. A big bowl of Cincinnati chili fixes everything. I think so too. Was it bad?
We might have to fix the screen and my finger.
Hey! She wasn't looking and she had her hand up there and the wind caught the door and just slammed it on her hand. Everyone's getting injured today. Halen says, thanks so much. Also, Bear, have you seen the corporate F-150 Lightning all-electric starts it? I have seen it, and honestly, it's kind of compelling. Although, I'll be honest, of all the ones out there, the one I really want is, what's the other one? They've got the pickup truck out right now. I always forget the name of it. But they're doing an SUV version of that, and that's what I would really like, an SUV all-electric. Because I think for a pickup truck, because like I do enough hauling of stuff that electric's just not going to work out. Barbecue 76 with a $2 super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you lock the door open? That seems to have fixed it. And the breeze gets in at least.
Okay.
She'll have to sit in the bright sunlight though. I'm gonna die. Michael says one of my favorite authors wanted to bring F1 racing to some unusual locations like Grand Prix de Juno, where natural hazards are part of the race, like moose. Let's see here. Never ever trust anything with more than 30 transistors in it. Real men use tubes. Solid state gives me a rash. 20 minutes later, yeah. Oh, Deep Freight must be upset now. And we're bouncing between. It says green right now. Little bouncy.
Unless I hold it out the door.
Set it on the table out there. The phone's not going to blow away. It's not that breezy. So, we're setting the phone on the table on the patio. And everything just went red, so clearly... Hold on, this is amusing. We're professionals, folks. Don't ever forget it. Should have gone with Spectrum. I have Spectrum. What's that?
I'm making
We're green.
I'm doing rabbit ears on the couch next to you.
Set it on the counter right here on the corner. I bet that'll be just perfect for it. Tonight's stream reminds me of the good old days when you were in Montana. Oh, remember when we first got to Montana and we had that horrible internet?
Yeah.
We were trying to get it all working and stuff. Oh, I know. It's just boring when stuff works every time. You gotta have something to fix, right? If you can't fix it, then what's the point? Lowe's and Flex post earlier. Thoughts? I guess I missed because of all the stuff there, I missed it. What was the What was the question? Good advice on methods. Was a photo major in high school, so I know the basics of making movies. Did I see the question about the F-150? I did. And in case you didn't hear it, I like it. It's very compelling, but I think I would go with the SUV version of that. The other one, the other electric car. Not the Cyber truck, but the other pickup truck. They have a SUV version of it. I can't remember what it's called.
With an R?
Yes.
Rivian?
Rivian. She remembers. I love her. The Curse of the Moto. Get a big pulp peen hammer and introduce the phone to percussive maintenance. That's not a bad suggestion.
I tried to recently.
Wilhawk says, I'm not saying it's aliens, but aliens. How are you enjoying Nevada? Actually, absolutely loving it. We're here. We're not in Vegas anymore. We're in a little town called Boulder City near Vegas. By the way, I think it was Rob or Robbie ran into. We were having drinks in there. We're kind of doing like a tapas thing, hopping to different little bars and bistros up and down. Have a drink, have a snack. And we were at this great little Mexican place where Jess likes to get they make tableside guacamole. You choose all the ingredients you want in it, and they mash it up right there for you. Anyway, ran into him. He stopped by to say hi and loves the channel and stuff. That was great. I always love meeting viewers and getting to say hi. So thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Sometime when you have a chance, sit down and have a drink with us. What's your take on the new Flex line of tools? I'm planning to switch from rigid to Flex. I've talked a lot about them. I have some. For full disclosure, Flex sent me tools. I know the guys who I've talked to, like some really high level folks over there, and had phone conversations about them. So just want to get that all out there. I do like them. I think they're fantastic tools. I think they're every bit as good, if not better, than Milwaukee or DeWalt or Makita. My negatives on them is they're big and heavy. The batteries are huge. If you're doing the kind of work that needs all the power, that's the tool line to go with. I will say this. I'm absolutely a fanboy of their recip saw. It is so buttery smooth with almost practically no vibration. And then I cut through a piece of railroad not tie, but a railroad track with that and a Diablo amped blade. And it was super easy. So I love them. The issue is they don't have a full line of tools as far as I'm concerned. If they have the tools you need, that's awesome. And buying, you're still getting the lifetime warranty now because you're still part of the Founders thing. That's amazing too. So if they work for you, within that constraint, I think that's a great choice to go with. Well, Halon says having wings for dinner and bread pudding for dessert. That sounds awesome. I want to go to Hooters. I have a thing for Hooters teriyaki wings. I'm like, they're like crack. Why did you stare at me like that?
You know.
Why?
I'm
Teriyaki
teasing you.
wings?
No, because you said you're going to go to Hooters and everybody thinks you're not going to Hooters for chicken wings.
Guess who's going to Hooters with me? For chicken wings. And Eleanor. She loves them too. What you get for living in a Faraday cage. It's about like that.
Yeah.
Mike says mobile internet / cell service is like CB radio, AM frequencies, atmosphere effects. One day it is. You're totally right. One day you can be 10 miles away, the next you can't talk across the median to the next lane. It is like that. So right now we've got I think it's part of its elevation, because if she took it all the way outside, put it on the table, it died. So we have it on the corner of the counter that's in line where I think there's a tower on that mountain over there with the door open, so it's got line of sight with no metal in between it. And it seems to be doing all right.
You're going to jinx it. Just stop talking about it.
Fingers crossed. Knock on something that looks like wood. I don't think it's actually wood, but it looks like wood. Steven says, I remember the extremely unreliable Montana internet. And then it would rain, and the internet would go out. That was fantastic. The days of dial-up. Oh my gosh, don't take me back there, man. Don't take me back there. Barbecue 76 says, it's amusing when you said everything went red. The video and the sound was perfect. I waited a minute to send this. It's still just fine. Oh yes, the joy of internet. Lowe's, Chris says Lowe's bragging on Flex was the post earlier. I don't know about that. Lowe's is Lowe's, and their CEO is, remember, the situation right now is Lowe's CEO is the former number 2 or number 3 guy at Home Depot, and he got skipped over for the number 1 position, and it kind of put him hot under the collar. So he's at Lowe's right now trying to turn Lowe's into Home Depot. So that's part of his push for stuff like Flex and other things, and they're really trying to push that we have pro solutions as well. David says, what tool that is coming out this year are you looking forward to hopefully test and do a review on? I'm really looking forward to Hercules brushless and the more automotive stuff over there at Harbor Freight. I'd like to see the rest of the Flex tool line that's going to come out. They said they're going to have 100 tools. This last launch, they only launched 2 or 3 tools. I want to see the rest of that. And I want to see Skill come out with more 12-volt stuff. I think they need a broader, and in the 20-volt. I want to see a larger push from Skill. I'd love to see some new Cobalt tools. They've kind of sat down and not done anything. And let's see, what else are we looking forward to? Anything that's been announced. I'm trying to think of anything that's been announced. Oh, the Ghost Predator engine from Harbor Freight. That thing should be a little screamer. So here's a question. This is what I want to see. Can I take a Ghost Predator engine and put it in a pressure washer? And will it up the power of the pressure washer? Greg says, in the process of switching my blue Ryobi to HP green. It's not a bad switch, man. Those HP Ryobi tools, they rock. Does Harbor Freight Inside Track Club have a family plan? They don't, but you can share your number with anybody. So, I'll tell them all to use the same phone number. What do you think about the Flex Packout and the Flex rear handle saw? The rear handle saw, I'm betting, is going to be a beautiful saw. Now remember, Flex, owned by Shervon. Shervon also owns Skill Saw, the granddaddy of rear handle saws, alright? They've been doing worm drive and just fantastic saws for years. That should be a slam dunk saw for them. And I'm expecting that it will be. The Packout seems great. I don't know if you saw the demo they did on TV. It reminded me of the cheesy late night infomercials where you're like, you ever crack an egg and it's so hard, and the woman doing it goes to crack the egg and it basically explodes all over her hands. Oh, it doesn't have to be that hard anymore. They always take everyday things and make it look like it's the hardest thing in the world to do. Oh, it was embarrassing watching that part. I thought they went way over the top with that dramatization. It looks like a great system, but you know what? It doesn't have any drawers. It doesn't have any of the other stuff. When you gals, when you launch a pack-out system or any kind of modular system, as far as I'm concerned, you got to have the rolling base. You got to have a middle box, the mid-size box. You got to have a slim box that can be carried briefcase style. You got to have the multi-compartment. You got to have a deep drawer and a 2-drawer or 3-drawer system, and you got to have the milk crate option. Those if you don't have all of those, I don't think you've got a full modular system. Let's see here. The thoughts on the current state of Icon. I got to tell you, and as a lot of you know, Harbor Freight sends me stuff, so a lot of you will just blow me off for saying this. I really like the Icon stuff. It is... So here's how much I like Icon. I brought a bunch of tools down here from Montana, and I had tools here in storage. And the idea was, I'm talking like mechanics, sockets, hand tools, that kind of stuff, that we're building a set for my son for him to do automotive stuff when I'm not here. And when it came time to divvy up the ratchets, I gave him my SKs and I kept the Icon. And I should do a video showing you why. And I'm a big SK fan bear from back in the day. Anybody who knows the channel long term knows I love SK. And I gave him my brand new SK ones because I like the Icon ones better. Yes?
Were you done?
Go ahead.
Shaka with a $2 super chat. Good
Shaka.
evening. Ryobi tools are trash. This is such breaking news and information. Thank you for letting us know, Shaka.
And I'm drinking Ryobi Green Gatorade to celebrate the trashiness of Ryobi.
So thank you so much for the super chat. I know that I am not in the frame. It's too bright and crazy.
Hold on.
Nope, we don't need to put me. It's fine for... Okay.
They want to
Apparently
see
it's
you.
like, don't listen to your wife, Dick.
You are much better looking than I am. No one wants to look at me. That's why we have the bear.
I love you.
I love you too.
Barbecue 76, I did see that. I have not had access to the kitchen that I need to. But, didn't forget about the bread. And thank you for the hippos, because I always appreciate hippos. Steven says, dial-up internet. You've got mail. Inferno 2224 says, hi Jack, this is Sam. Letting you know I got the bar backpack. It's really cool. Thank you again.
Gosh.
That backpack, so sorry it took
So
long.
sorry that took so long.
But I am super glad that you like it. I have to say, I did eyeball it a lot. It's like, perhaps I need that backpack for something.
I honestly, I really like the back. I don't know if you saw Hercules is coming out with a version also.
Super cool backpack. Okay, why? Maybe I just don't have my glasses on, but it looks like the video is funky.
Well, there's a light. We need a new camera, to be honest. This camera's old.
Yeah.
It's probably on its last legs. The camera has to be 10 years old.
Yeah.
Where was I?
You're down.
I'm what?
You're down at PT.
Oh, hold on. I thought it was something else. Oh, I did want to comment on Icon. Also, the price in the cabinets have really come down. And when they do that 20% off or 25% off with no exclusions, I would be, if I had, no, anyway. They're just such nice cabinets. Just trying to justify the cost. PT says, our local Lowe's doesn't have room for 100 flex tools unless they dump Cobalt and Craftsman stuff. Hold on, I'm moving the microphone over so that the missus can be heard as well.
Nobody needs to hear me.
All right. There we go. That's better. Hercules or Earthquake for starting mechanics. If you're going Earthquake Air, I understand that. But do not invest in Earthquake cordless tools at Harbor Freight. They're going away. And all of that, all the mechanic stuff is moving over to Hercules. SK now owned by China, Icon made in Taiwan. That's true. The SKs are still made in the USA, but they were bought by Great Star, a Chinese company. And we just don't really know what all they're doing with the company right now. I do know they laid off a whole bunch of people.
John Gonzalez says, hi, Jeff and Jesse. Hey, I hope you're having a good one.
Hey. Crystalline says, Crystalline Sky. Mrs. Bear, do I need to make you some headbands?
I'm not going to say no, but I am hoping that I can find some here locally, which should not be super hard. I know. It's hard to keep me in the frame. And I was actually thinking it might be fun if I got a couple of them and I could snap some pictures and you guys could vote on which one you wanted me to wear. I'm not going to say next week, because if I say that, then something crazy will happen. So that's what I'm hoping for, but I'm not promising.
Maybe we should do this up more often.
I don't know. I think I look weird in this, but
I always like you sitting there like that next to me.
that's right.
Where was I? Neil says, if only SK didn't get sold. I know. It's many a time I'm like sitting there going, why did that happen? Let's see here. Mater says, I was at Lowe's one night and looked at the Craftsman pack-out system. I looked at using them as luggage for the trike going on a cruise ship. That would be, I could definitely see it for that kind of stuff. Wilhawk says, I need a new backpack.
Me too.
Brian Lee says, thank you. And Crystal and Sky, favorite colors?
I like, I like this Tiffany blue. I like green. Those are kind of my favorite colors. I like black. I mean, who doesn't like black? Don't tell me it's not a color. We're not having a debate. Yeah. So I think those are my favorite.
Ricky says, is there any flex tool that you would not recommend? I'm of the belief that almost every tool has a right job for it. So it's hard to say what I wouldn't recommend. Usually it's like, I wouldn't recommend it for this. Like the Flex Impact Driver is not the super high power, top of the line impact driver out there. It's not designed for automotive mechanics. It's designed for construction use. So if you're in the bays working on, even if you're just pulling tires and stuff like that, on most like cars and stuff, it'll be fine. If you're doing like big rigs and tractors and stuff like that, you might have some issues. It is really comfortable to use because it uses a lot of that shock absorbing technology and stuff. But really what it comes down to is price. I have a lot of guys who are like, well, I'm a DIYer weekend wear type. Should I go with Flex? And I'm like, no, I don't think that you should. It's like you can buy a Ram 3500 Cummins for driving 2 miles to the grocery store and back, but you're wasting a lot of money with that. Unless that 2 miles is over, a mountain range, then you're not going to, or you're hauling a semi with it while you're doing it. You're not going to get that use out of it. You might as well get yourself a little, a little Ford Ranger or something like that. So is it the right tool for the job? I don't think they have any tools that are bad. I just think they have, some of the tools are expensive. Some of the tools are really big too. Like the you get that 8 amp hour battery on that Impact. That's a huge tool you'd be carrying around all day. If you're doing a lot of like just light assembly work, I wouldn't get that. But if you need that top end power, that's why you go that route. Let's see here. Today's race, did I miss a race today? Was it NASCAR? Where's the Bear? Bear doesn't do live shows. He says he's talent, and he takes the weekends off. Yeah. Crystalline Sky says, okay, I have ideas. That should scare you.
I'm like, that was exactly my thought. I'm like, should I be scared?
Mark Olson says SK was mismanaged for years, and that's true. They were always trying to find out the right place to be and the right reason for being, and they never could seem to find it. So it's not surprising that it happened. It just sucks that, it did happen. Let me check something here. Where is my other window that I was using? This one.
I have no idea. He's misplacing
there
windows.
There we go.
Now.
All right. Anyway. Okay. So. Any other comments here? Mark, Adena Tools. Wiley says, I met a Stanley Black & Decker product development engineer yesterday. It was cool to hear all of his product lines and that he wasn't allowed to say what's in the works for years. Yeah, they're really touchy about that sort of thing. Let's see here. The Husker says, I can't hear no bear. What? Try refreshing the page. Of course, you can't hear me say that, so it's not going to help. Wayne says, Adena Tools, with SK, maybe they'll be made in the USA, but the company profits go to China versus U.S. manufacturing in China, but the profits come to the U.S. So here's a question. What is more important to you? yes, we all would love made in the USA with real men and women working and building stuff that brings money and profit and jobs and all the stuff that comes, the peripheral stuff that comes with having to plant and everything, the restaurants and the, all the other businesses that then that promotes and stuff, the trickle down of economics in that situation. We would all love to see that. But world economics being what they are, we have to understand that that's not the way things are. So if it comes down to made in the U.S. but owned by China versus made in China owned by the U.S. or assembled in the U.S. with parts made in China. And here's the other thing you got to realize. A lot of these are multinational corporations. So you don't even really know who owns them. It could be owned by, who owns Stanley Black & Decker? What are the majority shareholders? And who's backing them and stuff? Where's that coming from? Maybe the money is still going back to China.
Rick H says, thanks for all of the great tool info. Give Red a good belly scratch for me. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I apologize. I was straining to read it without my glasses. So thank you so much for the super chat, and we will definitely, I will attempt to scratch the belly. I just want to be safe.
Mark says, when we had our diesel cost 10% more, but you got 30% more mileage. Now, not so much. Kind of feels that way.
Yep.
Brian says, I remember when Black & Decker was a good brand and some brag about it. My dad was proud of his Black & Decker. There was a day, a lot of people don't realize, there was a day Black & Decker was top tier, top shelf kind of stuff. In World War II, they were the hand tool to go to for power tools.
Wahak, you were so accurate.
Y'all should see what the bear requires in the green room and what he does to the green room. Weekends of the crew rebuilds and restocks. Oh my gosh. Right. Speaking of bears, I do have to say, I want you all to keep a family that we know in your thoughts. Back home in Livingston, a local family, the husband went out, they went shed hunting, which is you go out looking for deer antler sheds in the spring, and he and his buddy went out and they split ways to cover more area. And when his buddy got back to the car not too much longer after that, the other guy didn't show up, and they did a search and found out that he had run into a grizzly and did not survive the encounter. So this family's been having a really hard time of it. 2 years before that, their house burned down. Anyway, if you can, put them in your thoughts, in your prayers tonight. Moving on. The Mohawk says, y'all should see... Oh, I read that one. Barbecue 76 says, I once misplaced some of my windows also. It was very cold in the house that night.
Oh, wow.
How do you misplace your windows?
It could happen. I could totally see myself doing that.
Steven says, NASCAR raced in Austin, Texas today. Oh.
Wow.
Bullwinkle says, the major race was F1. I'm waiting for the race ramps coming soon. Low Pro 2-piece. I'll be using the Daytona Low Long Reach jack and Sunex jack stands. Oh, cool. Larry Broom says, hey, Bear, I never received my gift certificate from Kaiser Foam from the giveaway. Guess it's too late now. Email me, red@denatools tonight. They never got back to me. I hadn't heard that you didn't get it. I'm sorry. If it comes down to it, I'll send you $25 because I'm not too thrilled with them right now. Curious Creed says, my grandpa has an old Black & Decker circ saw. The whole thing is made of metal, including the gearbox, the handle, and the blade guard. That's the old classics. Hold on to that. Take care of it. Kevin says, Mr. and Mrs. Bear, I've been watching for a while and was finally able to read everything on your...
Yep.
Oh,
in Delaware.
In Delaware. Oh,
Delaware.
cool. What do you think of buying old vintage tools and using them on a daily basis, such as old Proto versus Blackhawk, Wright, Armstrong, Snap-on, SK? Yeah, I do that. I actually have quite a bit. In fact, we gave some away on the Christmas giveaway thing. I have a bunch of Armstrong. I have some Proto. I have some old Snap-on stuff. A lot of old Channel Lock.
I think it goes back to what we always say. It's the right tool for the job. So
the right tool at the right price for the job, yeah.
Right. And if it's still a functioning tool that still can add value to your household or professional life, I say rock it. But
yeah. Just remember, if you're doing anything sketchy with it, like where you might break it, maybe swap it out for a cheaper tool, because like with Craftsman, if you break a Craftsman wrench and you go and you exchange it for warranty, the wrench you're getting is not the same quality. So, just things to think of.
Neil also said, I started with mostly old USA flea market stuff. Got me to where I am today. I would just like to say, at least in the area that I see, like, my dad was a contractor when I was a kid. Like, had his own company, whatever. He always picked up great tools at flea markets. Now, when I'm at a flea market, I don't see tools the same like that, caliber of tools. But yeah, if you're able to find one, it's always a gem and a find when you can.
The only time I really find great deals on hand tools and stuff like that is at estate auctions. And even then, I usually have to get in a bidding war with somebody.
Yeah.
Wiley says, please mention other lines that are connected to Stanley Black & Decker. He was Emerson employee, now does all of their lines, which are what? So Stanley Black & Decker is... so as far as power tools, a lot of people don't know Stanley is still a power tool line, just not in the U.S. Then they've got Mac Tools, DeWalt, Porter Cable, Craftsman, Black & Decker. Who am I leaving out there? Thought there was at least one more in there that's kind of odd and stuff. As far as hand tools, Stanley, Craftsman, Proto, Blackhawk, trying to think who else there is. It's all I can remember right now. Anyway, the PT says, even later, B&D had professional line of tools, and they were great. Barbecue 76 says, you were just saying 5 minutes before you read my comment that you were looking for another window. How do you misplace one? Yeah, the window on my computer. Crystal in Sky says she has a skill saw from the 60s. Those are fantastic.
Super cool.
Hey, it's top of the hour, and I skipped it last time. I want to take a moment. We're going to take a pause. Just hold on. And I want to say huge shout out, thank you to our mods. That's everyone with a cobalt blue wrench behind their name. Many of them are also creators in their own right. If you are one of those mods, feel free to post a link to your channel in the comments section so everyone can go and check you out. We'd like to share the love and help other people find your channels and help you find other people find great new content that they might be missing. So huge shout out, thank you to them. Thank you, of course, to everyone who supports us with the super chats. That's always fantastic. It makes our day. Especially like when you also supported the Cubs and stuff, and
yep.
they're just tickled by that. And I also want to say huge thank you, double thank you to our members. That's everyone with the bear behind their name there on the post. That's our subscription members. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Glad we finally got a solution for the internet so you can actually be here to watch something. So,
oh my goodness,
we appreciate it.
If I have a weird look on my face, it's because I'm trying not to sneeze.
Look at a bright light.
Oh my gosh.
Think of someone sticking a feather in your nose.
I'm trying not to sneeze. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Michael Chesney at Vintage Tools have an elderly HP Spectrum analyzer, power supply, and systems DMM. Old is some of the best around. Yep. When I worked in tech, we had the oldest Tektronix, what do you call it? Oscilloscope in the world. But it worked. It worked great, and it worked every time, and you didn't have to fiddle with it. Jim says what hurt Black & Decker was when they bought out the homeowner line in the late 60s and 70s, that the professional line was always good, heavy duty, but places pushed cheapy. Yeah, that's legit what happened. And they started pushing out all these cheap tools, and people started associating them with cheap tools rather than quality tools, and it killed their brand. Old guy says, not sure if my cataracts are getting worse or if your video is very blurry.
I noticed that some of the video earlier was blurry, so I can't, it doesn't look blurry on our end right now. If somebody else is seeing it blurry right now I'm talking.
It looks a little blurry. I think we just need a new camera. We're going to put that in the budget. John goes up, Boss Stitch. Thank you. Boss Stitch is the other Stanley Black & Decker owned line. They make power tools as well. Curious Cretin says, my trade school still uses Fatmax corded drills. Wow. That is cool. All right. The Huskers, 1995.
Wow. $20 super chat. It says, I've been watching The Bear for years. Enjoy the info. Thank you
awesome.
so much.
Thank you for the support. We really appreciate that. And glad you could join us tonight, and glad we could actually make it work. Bullwinkle says, my hip recovery is going on 3 weeks. Excellent so far, by the way. Most of my tool selections are because I stumbled on your channel. Well, thanks for the the support with the channel, but that's awesome to hear about your hip. That is, being able to be mobile is a huge thing. And losing that is just terrible. So glad that that's going well for you. Weird segue. So we're at this festival in Boulder City. It was kind of street festival. I have no idea where she is. Bella?
Oh, she's laying right there.
Good girl.
Good job.
Yeah,
You're doing
Lena.
excellent.
She said, what? So anyway, do you guys know what and this was a weird segment, just talking about being mobile, this made me think of this.
Great.
Do you know what a one wheel is? It looks like kind of like a surfboard with a giant wheel in the center. And the wheel's powered, and it controls it based on how you tip and everything. Well, there's a group of people who've learned you can take a small lawn chair, set it on it facing forward, sit in the lawn chair, and zoom down the street. And there was a guy last night whipping up and down the street on his one wheel, sitting in a lawn chair with a lighted whip, kind of thing, so that people could see him. Oh my gosh, that looked like so much fun. I'm sure I would absolutely hurt myself doing it, but it looks like a lot of fun.
It totally made me want to cringe, personally, because my mind is a mom mind, and I think of all the ways you could hurt yourself.
Mike Adams says, I bought the half-inch Pittsburgh torque wrench about 2 years ago. I like it, but when you get to 120 to max 150 pounds, I think it could use about 6 or 8 inches longer handle for more leverage. I totally get that. I've got the Icon one, and like when I torque the tires on the trailer here, it's just so nice. It just, because you got that, you're holding the head right here, keeps it, and you're way much further out. You're twice the distance, so I totally get wanting to have that extra leverage on there. Ooh.
Wayne, and I apologize ahead of time for mispronouncing your last name. Is it Onbi?
That's a cool name.
That is a cool name. Thank you for joining us. It says, welcome to
Tool Bear.
So thank you so much.
Let's see here. I was losing my place here. Wings and Pizza says, I remember a little while there was mention of ShopVac resuming operations in the U.S. Did that ever happen? It did. They did. The plant is back up and running. They haven't hired back as many people, but they said they're slowly, getting back up to full operation. But it is, and that's another case of a Chinese corporation owning a U.S. company. I think it's the same corporation, actually. Barbecue 76 says, to the old vintage tool comment, I have a few that are about 100 years old.
Wow.
And they're passed down to me and still usable. Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. To be continued.
What was that one thing that we have? I'm trying to think. It's a jack, I think, that looks like a bell or like a trumpet kind of thing.
That's a house jack.
Okay, so I'm not crazy, but it is old.
No, you are crazy, and it is old.
It did say it was a jack. It didn't say it was anyways.
We also have a rail car jack as well, so we have some interesting stuff around the house. And I've used that rail car jack to lift my trailer. Not this trailer, my utility trailer. I keep losing my... Ford truck guy says, hey, Ford truck, I haven't seen you in a while. Says the Blackhawk brand has been discontinued. Seriously? I mean, I'll be honest, the tools weren't that great. They were middling. But it was one of those names that's just been around for so long, and it's sad to see it go. Mater says the best place I still find good deals on tools is at pawn shops. I bought some Cobalt 24 tools for half price. I have terrible luck with pawn shops.
Really? Yeah.
Maybe it's just out west. We don't have, because the prices. It's the prices. They want. Maybe there's just too many idiots out here willing to well, it's in a pawn shop. It must be a great price, because they won't dicker with me on the price at all. Barbecue 76 is finishing his comment from before. Some of those tools were my grandfather's, and he made his living with them, so for me it's sentimental. But I also buy new tools that he did not have to get the job done. The Barbecue 76 also says, I use my tool depending on the job. Sometimes the 100-year-old tool is better. Other times technology wins. So how do you feel about old tools? I guess it depends. Just like any tool. It depends on the job. I know, and people hate it when I say that, because they always want to hear, they want the simple answer. What's the best tool? Blank. And there is no simple best tool or worst tool. There's just, what's the job? How are you going to use it? What's the price cost advantage on it? So you got to figure all that stuff into it. Jim says SBD is discontinuing Blackhawk as they did Challenger, Miller's Falls. Yeah, Miller's Falls has gone to others when they bought the complete tool proto line from IR, and they still own USAG and FACM. Yes. Is FACM sold in the U.S. at all? I mean, I know you can get it here, but I don't think it's sold at retail here. Where am I? I'm totally lost. Here we go. Neil says, sad news, my Ingersoll my IR die grinder bit the dust, but good thing is I bought a new Snappy. Ooh. Big bucks. Insylum says, hey there. Michael says, more fun than pulling a wheelie on a unicycle. John said, oh, they're talking about it. Okay. Mike says, would using a short cheater bar on the torque wrench for the extra leverage damage it? If you're within spec on the torque wrench, I don't see how it would damage it. You're just giving yourself a easier way to get to that torque spec. So I think you'd be fine. Frank Landgraf, hey Frank, how you doing? And Jim says the Gold Star Company bought the ShopVac Company and SK Tools, and they have sold off a lot of stuff and moved the other equipment, and everybody is waiting to see what will happen. Which is honestly why I have not been covering SK Tools since the sale of it, because I don't want to tell people to invest in a tool line that may significantly change how they do business, or if they do business. So that's why we're not talking about them that much anymore. Brian says, I'm originally from Bullhead, Laughlin, and I agree the pawn shops out there all think they're Pawn Stars. At least it's not just me, because I was going into some of these places, I'm like, this is just ridiculous. And then the ones there's like one in Livingston, and he's all but retired, and the older guy will make some deals who owns it, but the son is just like, he just thinks everything is worth full retail, and maybe people are paying it. Maybe people are paying it. I don't know. Let's see, where'd we go? Cookie Monster says, new to the channel, does anyone have a pressure washer from Harbor Freight? I do. I need a pressure washer for sidewalks, house sizing. Well, it's in the back of the truck. I'm down here in Boulder City over near Lake Mead. If you want to swing by, you're welcome to borrow it. I actually have another pressure washer. You probably have this one. I don't know which one I'm going to keep, though. I don't know. I go back and forth. If you've been around the channel a long, long time, you know the old one I had for the RV, that orange box that folds up. I'm trying to figure out whether I should keep that one, or I should have, because I could store it with the RV. That's what I should do. I should keep the orange one and get rid of this one. I've got so many. That's the one of these. Here's a fun fact about YouTube. This is why I always laugh when people are like, oh, you just give people a good review because they give you something for free. First of all, here's what you gotta understand. People don't give me tools for free. They give me tools because I've spent 6 years building a channel and putting out content. I've done work to get to that level where they send me stuff. So it's not for free. I had to put in the work for it. And they're doing this to get access to an audience. There's no promise of me saying that stuff's going to be good. And if you've seen a lot of my reviews, I'm pretty honest about it, specifically about these pressure washers. Because anytime you do a video on something new, 20 other companies want to send you free products. So I can say whatever I want.
Sorry, the voice just came back.
But like when I do pressure washer videos, I will have every cheap Chinese company out there, and some not so cheap ones, sending me pressure washers for review. And I had to start turning them away because I was stacking up piles. I was giving them away. All right? Olights. I get so many flashlights because of Olight. Other companies trying to send me stuff and whatnot. And I just give them away. I'm like, oh, people at the RV park that we met. I'm like, oh, you're really nice. Hey, you want a free flashlight?
We are sharing light. We're illuminating the world.
Yes, illuminating the world. Anyway, but yeah, where was I going with that? So if I do another video on pressure washers, I'll have tons of other pressure washers to do. Anyway, Barbecue 76 says, continuing earlier thoughts, my 100-year-old tools were used, and they can
taken well care of.
Oh, maybe I should wear my glasses. Be nice to your tools, and they will be nice to you. That's
a life lesson.
Yeah. And that's about any kind. Remember, everything in life. Yeah.
Vehicles, tools, your house.
I see guys who are like, they take their tools and at the end of the day, like pros, and they'll just toss them in the back of the truck. And if it rains, something else happens, and then they're like, but that tool only lasted, a year. Gee, I wonder why. And there are also the same guys like, I didn't treat it badly. I, just use like I would any other tool. The other ones I treat badly. And on that note, my love finding a use for a tool that was never intended for. The Jim Haynes, FACM is only through specialty companies now in the U.S. as after Stanley bought the FACM USAG deal, it doesn't push it here, but that is the USA dealer. So, and they are now starting to sell them rebranded as the Craftsman V-Series tools. So we're seeing some of the FACM stuff being sold that way. And as Neil points out, type at Dena Tools, just like it says there, and it shows up literally in a big orange blurb, so we know that you're talking to us, because a lot of times you guys are talking back and forth to each other. And I read every single one that says at the Den of Tools. And you need the Den of Tools. Yeah. Let's see here. So would you also recommend buying some old Craftsman ratchets? Yeah, I love old made in the USA tools. Anytime I can get them for a reasonable price, I buy them. The Wings and Pizza. Jeff is the unofficial Harbor Freight of the RV parks, giving away free flashlights.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. We'd been here about a week, and a guy came over and knocked on our door. We're like, who's knocking on our door? Opened it up, and there's a guy who's trying to do some work on his RV. I think he's trying to set up, and he can't find his half-size impact or his half-size socket, and he wants to know if we have one. And I'm like, Chrome or Impact? Do you have a brand preference? You know, would you like to see our selection? I think he was a little put off. And Big Daddy says, recently discovered this channel, love it. Lots of good information and reviews. Really enjoy watching. That's awesome. Thank you for being part of the community. Hey, Mr. Griff.
Hi.
Come here and say hi.
Hi. You fixed the HJM, the tire?
You fixed the HJM.
Duncan and I.
Good for you. You a little
He's
worn
really
out?
warm.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You-
Hold on. Say hi.
That is, I've been
never
riding
been
my
this
bike
sweaty
hair.
in long time.
Yeah.
Except for like yesterday and the day before yesterday.
Oh, wait,
and
no. Oh,
he's
yeah.
got all sorts of sun in his cheeks. He's been down at the lake with some friends doing a little bit of swimming and stuff. The kids are, well, most of the kids are enjoying outdoor time.
He's saying that because one kid's inside.
Ensconced. The girl child. Michael says, I was in Iraq. You know, in Iraq, I was the go-to guy for flashlights that used to convert mini mag lights to LED long before. Oh yeah, I remember those conversions. That was a great thing to do. Where was I? Barbecue 76. Answering the pressure washer. If you're washing your car or dust off your house, electric pressure washers are pretty good. Say cleaning concrete, your driveway, they won't work. No. If you're just washing something, an electric pressure washer is fine. If you want to clean concrete, you want to strip paint, you want to take limbs off trees, all that stuff, you're going to need a gas-powered pressure washer. Michael says, oh, try the Candle Power Forms Fun Bunch Sharp Dudes. I was trying to figure out what that meant. Now I've got to sneeze.
Okay.
What do you think of the Harbor Freight 20-inch and 12-speed drill press? I don't have the 20-inch, but I have the 17-inch drill press. And it's an absolute beast, and I love it. Now, I will be honest, I got an open box for $125, and it was a steal. Here's the thing you need to remember with these drill presses. You have to assemble them, and there are some things like the spindle in there. You need to adjust that spindle, adjust the tightness, and otherwise it's going to be super wobbly. And I know a lot of people I've talked to are like, "Oh, I've tried the Harbor Freight drill press, and it's total crap because there's all this play in the spindle." I'm like, "Did you adjust the spindle nut? What's that?" Read the instruction manual when assembling these things. It's there for a reason. But yeah, I love their bigger drill presses. I think they're a fantastic deal. Max says, I learned a long time ago that my Pittsburgh wrenches done the same job just as good as the snap-on wrenches I owned. And Michael says, get another trailer and establish Red's tool truck. I'm about to establish Red's den of e-bikes. We've got so many. I got another one that's coming on the way, and we're about to do a video on this one where the kids are outside testing right now and doing videos on. That's what we're doing. We were up in the mountains doing trails, and that's when Duncan bit it earlier today. Oh, he was in a lot of pain. Poor little guy. Little guy. He's as tall as me these days. But, you know, I'm still the dad. Still always going to be dad. So, anyway, we're thinking about renting them out up in Montana this summer. And I was setting up the kids as do a rental business for tourists renting e-bikes. We'll see. I think it'd be a great bed for testing them and maybe make a little bit extra money. Mike says that's like my dad's 45-year-old Craftsman half-inch ratchet. It's been accidentally left in the rain. Even had 6-foot cheater bar used on it. Still works like when he bought it. You know what? That's what we should do. We should get in a business making quality rebuild kits for the old Craftsmans, because I don't think you can get those anymore. You mean like the Princess Bear? Yeah, PT. That's exactly who I'm talking about. Greg says, I need to call it a night. See you later. Take care, sir. You have a good one. And Ian Fish is good to see you're still on. Haven't been on for a while. How you doing? Wings Beat says, oh man, in my younger years, I did some damage to a shadow box fence panel with a gas pressure washer. Oh my gosh.
I think it's kind of one of those things you just learn once, usually.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, nope, not going to do that again.
Yeah. I remember getting the tip of my finger burned by a pressure washer. I'm like, how does water burn you when it's moving really fast? Let's see here.
Food, buddy.
Oh, and as Frank says, don't forget to chomp the old like button. We really would appreciate it if you would take a moment of your time to hit the little button down, probably right around there somewhere. It helps feed the algorithm monster, and that keeps the algorithm from chomping down on our channel. So we appreciate it. Inferno says, my dad still calls me kiddo, and I'm 45 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad was a very tall man, and he came from a family of 6 boys and 1 girl. And his mom was not over 5 feet tall. I think she might have been like 4'10".
Made great cookies.
And they all still, no matter how big they got, they were all her babies.
Inferno says, my dad still... Oh, yeah, I just read that one. Johnny asked, will Porter Cable ever make new tools in the 20-volt line? I would almost be willing to bet $20 that the answer to that is no. It's been over 3 years at this point since they've launched a new tool. And the last one was a mini tile saw. So I don't know. Hold on, I gotta sit up. I'm sliding down to my seat.
There's a lot more action here tonight. Sorry.
Kids are out playing. It's beautiful, just beautiful weather this week. And, Duncan's got a friend over, so they're off doing their adventures and stuff. Steven says, want to send an e-bike to Michigan? I think I would guess that the shipping on it would probably be more than the bike.
Yep.
Mater says, Harbor Freight does have a pressure washer on clearance. That would be perfect for a ghost engine. Ooh. That would be it. Here's what I really want to do, and I'm trying to figure. I don't have the big chassis. I want to get, when the ghost engine comes out, I'd love to, and maybe we do this a collab with your shop. I want to get a Predator engine, and then the Ghost engine, and then I want to do a full aftermarket rebuild using all the performance parts, and see what the cost to horsepower ratio is between the two, and see if it's worth doing or should you just get the Ghost. That would be the video to do. Let's see here. Chat moved on me. Has anyone seen the drill bit for splitting firewood? I have seen it, and I've seen videos on it, but I've not seen it in person. Honestly, that would be pretty useful for us. We do a lot of campfires out here.
Yeah.
And when you get the wood around here, they come in pretty large chunks. And we could use a hatchet on it, but I don't like the kids using the hatchets around here because they get a little bit eager with it, and it's all gravel. And so if it goes through, hits the rock, and then it chips off the rock, and I don't want damaging my hatchet. And that drill thing would be about perfect for that. Maybe I'll pick one up and try it. Jim says Facom had the full line in the U.S. back before they bought SK in the 80s. They were in Georgia, had a full catalog. After that, you could order anything through SK. Nice. Barbecue 76 says, I've been watching this long and just realized that ears are missing. Miss Bear, what's up with that?
I know. I didn't bring ears, and I haven't gotten replacements yet. Daughter of Bra, you are awesome. She sent me a ton of headwear that I did not bring with me, but I have loved.
Crystalline Sky said she might be able to help you out with something.
Yes, thank you. But you're not crazy. I do not have headgear.
You know, there are some shops in Las Vegas we could probably go to that sell stuff that maybe might be in that category.
You don't say.
John says, my brother-in-law has a 4,000 PSI, 13 horsepower MITM pressure washer. I'm coming from a 3,100 pressure washer. Going to need to get used to the extra 900 PSI. Be careful with it. That's a lot of power. Crystal and Sky says, I'm short in my family, 6'1". Mater's workshop is 5'10" and a half.
I'm 5'6" on like a good day if I stretch before I get measured.
I used to be 6'2". I'm not sure I'm quite there anymore. Johnny says, where should I go? Dad is a DeWalt man, so I could just conform. If DeWalt is going to do what you need it to do, it's not a bad line. I have issues with, first of all, I take issue with them saying that I really hate, and it's a pet peeve, the whole made in the USA from Global Materials. It's not. It's made somewhere else, and they just Lego assemble it here. Fine, but I just want them to be upfront about it, not that kind of what I consider lawyer weasel wording kind of stuff. Their batteries, I think, are way overpriced for what they are, and their lower level tools, the brushed tools, I think are pretty junky, especially considering what they want you to pay for them. The mid-tier and the XR line is fantastic. The Atomic line is fantastic. Their new 12 volt, fantastic. Their old 12 volt, utter trash. So it's not. I mean, if Dad's gonna let you share tools and batteries, that's a no-brainer. Go DeWalt. If not, there's other options out there. You can go Milwaukee, Makita. Cobalt is a great prosumer, budget pro kind of level. Anyway, lots of choices out there. Linda, hey Linda. Linda says that she chomped the old like button. Thank you so much, Linda. Mike says, if you cut 1 inch plate steel with water pressure, human flesh is nothing. This is true. Jim says, on a side note, I still have the USAG and FACM hardback covered tool catalogs from the 80s. Really? Hardback covered. I can't. That's quite a catalog. PT says, we've got more snow here. Oh.
I would like some snow. No. I would like some cooler weather. No. I do not want snow.
It's perfect right now. Just warm enough.
It's too hot for my liking, thank you. Very mature.
Not me. RJ Izzy says, have you looked into that Crescent Vortex bit holder? I don't think I have. Hold on for a moment. Let me get some cables out of the way. Let me go over here to my other window that I have found.
Daughter of Ra, it was nothing bad. I was just saying that you sent me some awesome headgear, but I did not bring it with me on the trip, and so now I am headgearless. So you are awesome. I hope you and Ricky are having a super awesome night.
I'm going to have to check out this Vortex bit holder. It says it extends bit life. I know they've been doing a lot of interesting stuff with the U-Guard and the Shock Guard and all that kind of stuff. I will take a look at it. Thanks for letting me know. I try to keep up on everything. Don't let me forget. Is it next week or the week after is the show?
Okay.
The hardware show. National Hardware Convention. I will be on the floor here in Vegas checking it out. Perhaps you could do a review of the V8 snowblower. On sand, maybe. No snow over here. How do the Predator engines hold up? I have a 40-ton wood splitter that is getting ready for another engine. I've heard just tons of fantastic reviews from them. There's whole modding communities for these. People use them in karting as like the standard engine. They've been out for years, and at this point, I would say that they have proven to be as or more reliable than about any other engine out there. like in the generators, like here in the RV park, I should do a thing. I just don't like being creepy about it, but I've always thought about doing this thing about just driving around and showing what generators people are using, and about half are Predator generators. It used to be all Hondas. Now they're Predators everywhere. You'll see Hondas here. You'll see some of the Winds and some of the other ones around here. There, what's the yellow one? Champion is another big one, but the Predator generators become the default generator for RV parks, and right now it's not like back in the day where you just had people like go and use their generator on the weekend when they go camping. We got people here who they're full-time RVers, and that's what they do all the time. And they live off those things, especially here in the Southwest. Frank says, at my work, we have a pressure washer to wash trucks. They're not in good stance. It will fly. If you're not in a good stance, it will fly out of your hands. Gary says, I have electric washer with a diesel heater. I have taken stickers off trucks.
I read that. That was crazy.
Mater says, I do have the new 224 that has been stripped down to bare block. I'm going to be ordering new parts for it soon. Ooh. And John says, the DeWalt Tough system is made in the USA with global parts. Yeah, and apparently the Tough system is not doing all that well, is what I've been hearing as far as sales and stuff. Let's see here. Can you explain Harbor Freight's extended service plan rules if you've had good experience with them? Well, here's the thing, and I want to preface this with this other conversation, because I get a lot of people who say, well, if Harbor Freight really believed in their tools, they'd offer the extended warranty built in. And the thing is, you don't get the warranty for free with other tools. You're paying for that warranty. So with Harbor Freight, it's really what they should be doing, I think they should be doing, is charging you the price of the tool with the warranty built in. And then when you get the checkout, like giving you the option of, hey, would you like to opt out of that warranty for X amount of dollars in savings? And I think that would really change the dynamic of what people think about it. That said, Harbor Freight is one of the reasons I started shopping there. Is I used to shop at buy Craftsman stuff at Sears, because you could walk into any Sears, throw a broken tool down, and they were like, just grab another one and you're out the door. Just in and out, simple, easy peasy. And they stopped being like that. And they started getting kind of weird about it. And that's when I jumped ship and went to Harbor Freight, because Harbor Freight is still like that. I walk in with a broken tool, I put it down, and they're like, here you go. And honestly, I don't usually get the extended service plan except on some of the bigger items. Like we bought with our own cash, Harbor Freight didn't send it to us, we bought the big 9,000 generator, the open frame, super loud, just standard generator. And we bought the extended warranty that came with that. Well, about a year later, they came out with the what do you call it? The 9,000 or 9,500 inverter generator, super quiet version. And I'm like, that's the one I want for my home, my full house. That's the solution I want. And because we had that extended warranty, we bought the 2-year plan with it. That allows you, and they don't talk about this a lot, but it is documented. This is part of the system. You can trade in the item you have if you want to upgrade to something else. Justin Dow, he bought one of the welders, and he had the extended plan on it. And they came out with a new, bigger multi-process welder. He wanted to get that, and so he was talking to the manager, and he's like, well, you got the extended warranty, so you can just trade it in, and they give you full price. It's not like, well, you paid $500 and we're going to give you $200.
It's not
prorated. It's exactly what you paid for it. All right, you get every cent of it, and that goes towards the purchase of the next level item. And that's a huge deal for me, because it lets me know that if I buy this and I realize I need that bigger thing, I can just step up to it. And I've got the entire length of if it was a 2-year plan, I could use it for a year and 11 months and then upgrade to the next one. Where'd I go? All right, I gotta scroll down here. I'm behind. Daughter Ross says, I heard I was summoned.
I responded to her.
Linda says, it's 36 degrees tonight. Brr. Too cold. Dick says, 1968, 5 foot, 8.5, 2022, 5'7".
Yep.
Yeah, I was born in 69, so I don't want to look. I don't even want to measure. Jay Jr. says, I'm in Delaware. We had snow flurries today. I don't have my glasses on, and I read, I'm in Delaware, and we had furries today. I'm like,
Which could
that's
be happening
nice.
Too.
Sucky, cold, windy, bring in spring and tool sales. Yep. Chef Shade Tree, how you doing? Says, I'm going through my 4-drawer U.S. tool cart and pulling all the tools out and doing videos on what I have. I really didn't realize how many tools I stuffed into such a small cart. They'll hold a bunch, won't they? And
Well, it's also cool when you start going through your tools and being like, oh yeah.
yes. And you're like,
You
that's the
find
tool
a
I
gem.
have. Yep. Donna Raw says she needs a mailing address.
I'm
All right.
already on it.
Halen says, might do Friday night live stream reading some scary short stories. That sounds cool.
Yes, yes.
Griffin says yes. Griffin turned around. He heard that.
Yes.
He turned around. He's like,
Put his hand
I'm
up.
in.
Yep.
Bullwinkle says, I wanted to purchase your stickers, but didn't see them, just mugs and clothes. If you go to did you go to denoftools.com? Because denoftools.com has the, I'll type it in there. Maybe I will. www.denoftools.com and go to the shop. Click on shop. That's where the stickers are. Rapunzel says, still foxy with no ears. Thank you. I appreciate you thinking that of me.
Oh, thank you.
I think maybe they're talking about you.
I know, that's why I said thank you.
Barbecue 76, I filled up the tank on my old gas mower. I figure I can mow the yard 2 or 3 times now, and it only cost me $684. So, many of you don't know, on the channel we talk about the trucks we have, and we've got the big Blazer, we had the old Ram, we've got the 3500 Cummins diesel now, but I also own a BMW, a 1999 BMW 740iL that may or may not actually be an Alpina. They're trying to figure that out. Anyway, so we'd left that car down here, and the reason we bought the car was it was fun, and I love BMWs, and yes, I know they're maintenance and all that other stuff. But to leave it as a car for, like, we could fly down for the week and drive it and stuff. And we have used it just like that, and it's been perfect. So one of the things we were looking for when we got down here is we would have a second car. So we go and we pick up the car. I get it washed. We bring it down. And I'm like, oh, I'm low on gas. And I'm thinking, oh, great, because now we have a car. It'll be cheaper because, rather than having to fill up that big gas tank in the pickup truck, because if I put $100 in the pickup truck now, I get 3/4 of a tank. So I go to the gas station, I start pumping, not even paying attention. It gets to $100 and stops. I'm at 3/4 of a tank on the BMW. I now do not own a vehicle that I can fill up for less than $100. Because the BMW does not get good gas mileage because it's got the engine from the X5 in it. It's got this huge 8-cylinder for what it is. Anyway, it's so much fun to drive, though. I love driving that thing.
So smooth.
But we're going to get rid of it because it's so low. Yes, Griffin's very sad. It's so low, getting into it now for me is really hard with my knee. So, I was looking at a Porsche Cayenne. I might get one of those. We'll have to see. We'll take votes. I want something fun, though. I've got... Is that my phone?
Yep.
Yes.
Don't...
Dylan.
One moment.
Hold on. Hello? Hey. No.
So,
No. No, and no. Love you. Bye.
looks like we're having buffering,
We moved the phone.
and yes.
Put the phone back.
Sorry, guys and gals, and
Dogs and cat.
yeah. I did see that Halen Wolf said that he wanted a rematch with you.
Where did that message go? With Griffey. Now I've lost it.
About
That game that you smoked him on. Yes, I'm gonna practice on Buck Hunter for a rematch. He smoked me in it. It was really cool. We went to a very cool establishment that had some video games.
Take the phone and turn it so it's at an angle.
Still
Is there
buffering.
anything else over there that is black? Nope. Just leave it right where it was.
with this bucket.
I knew we shouldn't have touched the phone. And we touched the phone. Alright, well, I'm going to try and get through the rest of this here. And, RJ Izzy says, I heard of the Vortex while switching from the Flex line as my daily shop to the DeWalt. Thought something like that could save some over torque. Sounds interesting. I got it up on the screen. I'm going to look at it in a minute. Chef Shade Tree says, I'm doing some videos of my tools. Talked about that. Hannah says, for our RV backup, we got the Whisper Quiet Harbor Freight one. Can't wait to use it. And Steven says, check out Robot Cantina. He's been working on a couple of Predator engines by putting them into a Honda Insight. Oh, that's cool. I love those Honda Insights. And it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect until the phone rang. You okay there?
No.
Barbecue 76 that Shaka loves Ryobi. Rodney says, hello, my friends from Branson. Can't believe you didn't contact me when y'all came through Branson. It was just a lark kind of thing. We were driving through the air and decided, and I just, literally, I see the exit, and I'm like, we're doing it. We're going to Branson. I don't care. Where'd we go? Gary says, it was cool this weekend. 8 this morning, made up to 24 more. 8 inches of snow.
No, 8 degrees, dear.
Okay, I need my glasses. I thought there was an inch mark. It's a degree mark. Anyway, made it up to 24. Okay, we're back into the green. No more touching the phone. That was Duncan asking if he could go swimming in the lake. He's got road rash, all completely open all the way down his forearm.
So does Dylan now. Not road rash, but some scrapes. Don't need to be in the lake.
Yeah, none of them need to be in the lake. Where'd we go?
You get bonus points for calling and asking.
They do get bonus points for that. Because I would not have. I got whooped so many times for falling in the river. What? I waited until they're out of earshot. Rose Dillion Hillbilly. I can't really read the part. I gotta get my glasses. I'm in the old C3 line, and if it works for me, what could be a good line to go to in that range? The C3 line, the Cobalt, is an excellent choice. The Skill 20 volt line is good. Those are both made by the same company, Shervan, who also... Wait, I'm trying to remember, is it Shervan or was it TTI? Now I can't remember if it was Shervan or TTI that made the C3 line. But honestly, the Ryobi HP line is excellent quality kind of stuff, and they've stuck with their battery system for a long time. Frank says it's the 22-inch in Grand Rapids, or it's 22 degrees in Grand Rapids tonight. Yeesh. You know what? And I gotta be honest about the C3 line. The Bauer line at Harbor Freight has just been stellar for weekend warriors, and even some. I've had pros contact me. I know people aren't gonna believe me. You gotta remember, there's all different lines of pros. Not everyone is a dude taking off lug nuts off of an 18-wheeler. Okay, some guys are just doing assembly. They're doing light work. They're professionals and they use it every day, but people do use it. Haylen's, okay, we talked about that. You're breaking up again. Yep. Mike says, I can relate. I was born in 72. I grew up to be 6 feet tall, but when I turned 40, I started growing outward. I don't know for sure my height now either. What are your thoughts, Duke asks, on multi-tools like Leatherman, Swiss Army knife, etc.? Have you carried one on you? I usually have them. I don't carry. I used to. Okay, let me back up here. I used to carry them on me at all times, and I've had all of them, and I love the quality and the functionality of Leatherman, and I have several of them. I have a very nice top-of-the-line Leatherman with a great leather case and everything like that, and honestly, I don't use it because it was given to me by Mom and the Cubs for Father's Day one year, and it's just sentimental, and it sits like in a top drawer, or in my safe, I think, right now. I carry the Leatherman Skeletal with me, but I don't carry it with me. I have them around. Like, I usually have one at my desk. There's probably one buried under my desk here somewhere in all this stuff. I have one in my truck. I have the Ram has the 3 cup holders, center cup holder. Right now, there's a Leatherman Skeletal in there. I've got one in my my range bag. They're just fantastic. And I happened to find them when they were doing a sale, and they were like $29. So I bought a bunch of them. So I love those things. Yes, dear? Not for me. Anyway.
Zaphiel, $1.99 super chat
Ooh,
with the
what?
thumbs up.
Hey!
Yes. See, I can't see that, so I've been squinting, going, what's going on? I'm trying
There,
to see it on my phone.
I fixed it.
Thank
fixed
you.
it. You're welcome.
So thank you so much, Zaphiel.
Wiley says, I started out in a 1976 BMW 2002. Man, I love that car. That boxy. I always wanted a 2002. That was like, I know all my friends wanted, like, Chevy Novas and stuff like that. I love muscle cars. Don't get me wrong, but I gotta drive a BMW 2002. My biological father, who lived in Phoenix, was a car guide. He would buy and work on a resale, mostly BMWs and Porsches and Mercedes, so I grew up around those, and I drove one of those when I was like 9, and just had fell in love with the 2002 ever since then. So I'm totally jealous of that. But anyway, he says, started with the 2002, California car, no rust, Beamers are the best. And, did you have something?
Zaphiel's been a member for 29 months.
Woohoo! 29 months. Wow.
It's a long time.
The Joseph says, Jeff, thanks for your review on the Harbor Freight Bauer surface conditioner. I was on the fence with the Eastwood versus the Bauer. I got the Bauer, using it for my truck frame to get the rust off. That's awesome. Let me know how it goes. As far as I can tell, I don't think there is. I think they're made in the same factory. I think they're from the same company. I looked at the gearing and everything else, and they're, other than the skin of the plastic on the outside, they seem to be the exact same machine. The Mater says, I filled up today for $22.
Filled up what?
His motorcycle. Probably.
Your watering can?
Yeah.
Picks or it doesn't count.
So it doesn't count. The Barbecue 76 says, well, if you're just looking for something fun you can easily get in and out of, I guess the Jeep Cherokee Hellcat might fit that bill.
I saw that.
I mean, I would love that. I would be happy with a Challenger, to be honest. But again, that's low. So, yeah, maybe the Jeep. I don't know. You know what I want? I was talking to the kids. I want, you're going to laugh, I want my Ram 1500 back. Because as a daily driver kind of thing, that thing was like driving a muscle car. And I was talking to the kids. I'm like, I want to get a 2-door, short bed, lower it a little bit with the Hemi engine. Maybe do some pinstriping on it. That would be bad. I'd love that. Oh, I'm going to do it now. I got to do it.
Honey, focus.
Oh. Jim says the difference between a Porsche and a porcupine is the porcupine has the pricks on the outside.
But I'm bummed.
Moto 1 today.
That's right. You are way behind.
You're way behind. You don't know. Gary says, Miss Bear sent some photos of the snow.
I love it.
Is there extra gas tank for Harbor Freight generator? Looking at one for when the Onan is not working. I've not seen anything like that for any of these generators. The Owen's Jeep stuff. Owen.
Wow.
10 so go ahead.
Go
No, you do the super chats.
$10 super chat.
Woo.
I'm 9 days away from getting my 2-year badge. And I
Yay.
just want to thank you for all that you and the family do. You are all the best. Thank you so much.
I was thinking about you and Princess Jamie, because driving around here in Boulder City, oh my gosh, Jeeps everywhere. Old Jeeps, new Jeeps, custom Jeep builds. It's insane, the
Things
Jeeps that we've seen around here.
Started out as a Jeep,
Yeah.
but are now magically Jeeps.
Just
Jeep,
some
Jeep.
fantastic stuff. I saw a lowered classic CJ Scrambler, and I'm like, I love Scramblers. And I'm like, why would you do that? But honest, it looked kind of badass. Sorry about the language, but it did. It looked kind of cool. All right. The Barbecue 76 says, I don't think the Bear is a big fan of Gerber, but I've had a couple of them, and they're awesome. Comparable to the leather. I don't like them. It's an ergonomics thing. It's a feel in the hand. I don't like them. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not my thing. Gunnar says, good evening. Has Red heard anything from Spy Bears deep inside Harbor Freight on any plans, accessories in the new Battleship Gray are coming out? I heard that they will be having accessories for it that all match. I've heard that there are no other colors coming out. I've also heard other things that I think are BS about. I think there might eventually, like in a couple of years, be other colors coming out, but there's nothing right now. The Airplane 312 says, hey, want to know how the weather is? We're in Vegas right now because it's too cold to be in Montana. Still, anyway, he says his area, Montana, is warm.
Yeah.
Zaf says, how is the camping on the road going? You look comfy. It has been fantastic. The other night, Duncan and I sat outside. Just beautiful weather. Just talking and just relaxing. Just, as I said to the missus, part of this whole journey thing and what we're supposed to be getting to is like, even though we're still working and doing stuff, kind of living that retired life. And we've really been doing that now, I feel, since we got back down here, and we need to start doing it more. We've been going out, doing more recreational stuff. That's what I love about Boulder City. It's another small town. The kids can run around town. We got their cell phones with little trackers on them, so we know where they are. We check in on them and stuff. But you feel more comfortable in this environment because you got your friends and neighbors who check in on them also. Mm-hmm. And, it's been just so nice down here.
Yeah. It's beautiful. The weather is nice if you're not me. It's just too hot for me.
RJ says, what project or equipment are you planning to break the gold icon ratchet? Oh, break in on the gold icon ratchet. I gave it to Duncan. He's got it. I don't know. It's not something I needed. And then Chef Shade Tree says, my Durango did pretty good out there in the desert. Was out there 3 years. Ooh, a Durango wouldn't be bad though. We should get the Durango because then we could put the whole family in it. If we get the RT.
Barbecue 76 with a $5 super chat. All right, so you want the Hemi truck because it is a muscle car and you love the truck. Well, in that case, I guess you want the Dodge SRT 10.
Or there's somebody down the road selling an El Camino for $2,500. There's a project.
Babe.
Yes?
We got some projects.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Frank says, love the show and the family. See you next week. Good night. Good night, Frank.
Good night, Frank.
Say good night, Red and Jeff. Rapunzel says, and you know what? It's 7:01, so we are going to say good night. So first off, big shout thank you to all the mods. Be sure to give them some love. Go over and check out their channels. They posted the links and stuff there. Be sure to check them out. be sure to check out Mater's shop. He and I are probably going to work something out. We're going to figure out some way to do some stuff about the Ghost engine and whatnot, so we'll get some content over there and over here as well.
Halen Wolf is going to have his thing
Friday,
soon.
Scary Nights on
post
Halen Wolf.
Halen.
What else? Thank you to everyone who supported us with the Super Chats tonight. You all are fantastic. Thank you so much. That means a lot to us. And thank you, of course, also to our bear family, all the members stuff with you. You got your tool bear icon there with you. Thank you so much for joining and being part of the family. We appreciate you all. And again, we're going to be here probably till June-ish. And if you're in the Boulder City area, hit us up and we'd love to hang out, maybe grab some chow or drinks or whatnot and say hi. So if you're complaining a visit to Vegas, we're just down over the mountain from there. Anyway, till next time, you all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.